And yet now she's doing a podcast, which we are only listening to. By the way, we're not listening to it.
Right.
Because she's former first lady.
Right.
No one listens to a former lawyer from, I think it was Jenner and Block, do a podcast with their brother on her thoughts on relationships. We're doing it because he made you first lady, but she does not have a kind word for him. It's amazing. Every word she says about Barack Obama is negative. I can't think of her sitting there just waxing poetic about him, complimenting, he's brilliant, he's a great dad, he was the greatest president, whatever a normal wife of Barack Obama would say. Every time she opines, it's something that reflects poorly on him, how he's insensitive, how he's not a talker, how he doesn't know how to relate to people, he doesn't keep the same schedule as she does, and now we're talking about you can have a bad decade.
Michelle Obama just got tag teamed by Megyn Kelly and Jesse Waters. This wasn't exactly a spa day. 1 minute, she's selling juice and dodging politics. The next, she's catching verbal haymakers in HD. Megyn brought the fire, Jesse brought the shovel, and Michelle, another excuse. If you thought her Netflix deals were dramatic, wait till you see this roast. Sharp, savage, and the takedown she never saw coming.
Michelle Obama, coincidentally, is reappearing, hitting the airwaves to push her new book and tell us how awful America's become.
A lot has happened. We've seen a global pandemic. We've seen an insurrection, a rising tide of hate and bigotry and intolerance and a whole lot more. I've spoken to a lot of loved ones, many of you, about what we all seem to be facing. And what has resulted from that process is actually my new...
Michelle Obama, the woman who turned public servant into a luxury lifestyle brand, First Lady. She's now the global CEO of Kale, Cardia, and condescending eye rolls. She didn't leave the White House. She franchised herself into podcasts, books, and wellness lectures. And don't be shocked if the next step is a TikTok duet with Lizzo while sipping her own guilt-flavored juice line.
When you're thinking of victims of this awful world, you think of Michelle Obama and how terrible we've all been to her. This woman is a one-woman destitution derby. Every time we check in on her at her podcast, she is feeling sorry for herself. She is criticizing Barack Obama or this country. She never has a positive word to say about...
Let's talk branding, because nothing screams relatable like a multimillionaire mogul filming a podcast about being private. That's right, Netflix deals stadium tours 3 memoirs later, and she still claims to be a introvert.
Sure.
And Bigfoot's just shy. It's like watching someone scream, "I hate fame," while filming their reality show in 4K with a ring light.
Obama's letting loose. Too loose. Her new podcast sounds like a confession. First, she said she forced Barack to stop playing basketball. Then she said she wasn't really into him at first. And now she's telling the world they go to couples counseling. Oh, and the White House traumatized her.
You know, I like you, I have believed in therapy my whole life. You know, done couples therapy.
Enter Megyn Kelly and Jesse Waters, armed with more sarcasm than a teenage group chat. Megyn saw one promo from Michelle's latest tour and lit her up like a Christmas tree in July. When Kelly calls your name, PR interns start sweating like they're on a treadmill in heels. All she had to do was point Michelle's on her 13th talk show, claiming she's apolitical while launching her granola-powered democracy crusade. That's not politics. Lady, you're a flamethrower, claiming you're scared of fire.
I want you to remember it wasn't the Obama-Biden White House. It was the Barack and Michelle White House. Listen to how she uses the words we.
I'm so proud of my husband and the way he led, the way his administration worked, the team that we built. So proud of everyone. I think that's because of who we are.
Did she just forget?
Now Jesse Waters enters like it's Rosma's morning, Michelle hands him a wrapped box labeled Hypocrisy, and he dives in. She says she doesn't want office. Jessie compares it to a Kardashian quitting cameras during season 48. Her brand is, I'm just like you if you ignore the mansion, security detail, and designer smoothie empire. Totally normal. Just your average woman hosting leadership retreats in Bali.
Dropped this podcast to distance herself from Barack so she could run for president. Every politician starts a podcast right before they launch their next campaign. Looking at you, Gavin. And it turns out Michelle wasn't the only one who had problems with Barack when he was in office. Michelle says the kids were embarrassed too.
Every year we'd have the turkey pardoning. And that was the one thing that the girls would do at Barack, was to go stand next to him when he pardoned his turkey.
Yes.
And it was cute when they were little, but as they got older, you could see on their faces in the shots of them thinking, I would just poke my eyes out. Just right now, just get me out of here. I'm standing with my father telling these stupid...
Let's talk about her memoirs. At this point, if Michelle sneezes, a publisher offers $10 million for her reflections on tissue absorption. The first book, a Hallmark card dipped in self-importance. The sequel, unasked for, trauma with extra kale metaphors, and the Netflix specials, fog machines, orchestras, and a cheering crowd while she cries about pretending to like politics. The drama's so thick, you'd think she lost a war, not an election she never ran in.
I need to talk to Michelle Obama.
Oh, good. She's still just as bitter as ever. There's such a great new spin of complaints here. Here's one from her most recent episode, which still on YouTube, she's got like 200,000 subscribers. It's really amazing that now she's been doing this for how many episodes? She's been literally on every podcast of the left wing promoting it. And that's still all she's managed to get.
Meanwhile, Megyn Kelly's sitting there with a face that screams, "Did I just order a TED Talk with my salad?" Michelle preaches humility while doing arena tours with Oprah. Nothing says modus like needing a jumbotron to share your diary. And Jesse, he's grinning. Watching Michelle drop hot takes while claiming neutrality is like watching a chef say they hate cooking while opening another restaurant.
I've been wondering where Michelle Obama's been. She snubbed both Jimmy Carter's funeral and Trump's inauguration. And last week, Barack went to a basketball game all by himself. Turns out Michelle's been busy working on a new podcast, and so far, it's been a flop. The first 2 episodes have been up all day and only gotten a few thousand views on YouTube. Half of them were probably primetime producers. But still, Michelle's spilling the family secrets, like how Barry gets on her nerves. Listen.
Barack, he had to adjust to what on time was for me.
Because he was on that island time.
Well, but, I've got this husband who's like, when it's time to leave, it's 3 o'clock, he's getting up and going to the bathroom. And I was like, dude, like 3 o'clock departure means you've done.
Oh, yes, the fitness crusade. Remember when Michelle made it her mission to force school kids to eat quinoa in the name of health? She took one look at cookies and said, "No joy for you." Kids were trading kale chips like contraband under the monkey bars. Jesse's still traumatized by the great pizza ban of 2011. Lunchrooms became Whole Foods detention centers, and no one's recovered since.
People with their own sense of everything, they mess you up. You love them dearly, but they're a hassle.
What? I mean, there's something wrong with this person. Like, she's seriously depressed. She has the most negative, dark outlook on life I've ever heard from a public figure. Certainly one who's been given so much. Okay, her window into motherhood and having a child, the first thing she says, they mess you up. They mess you up. Maybe that's what happened to her. Maybe she was totally delightful before the 2 daughters came along. I don't know. She clearly is not enjoying motherhood and enjoying being in a marriage. Even less It's not you if things get hard. It's all hard. It's all hard. This is...
And then the juice cleanse. Because what says for the people like charging $20 for a bottle of liquid kale and virtue signaling? It's organic. It's fair trade. It's infused with moral superiority. Megyn's looking around like, is this a wellness brand or a presidential campaign in disguise? And just when you think Michelle's done, boom, another podcast, another show, another empowerment lecture wrapped in kale and ego.